Hey everybody, today I wanted to do a video about Sadlier Vocabulary Workshop and show you a little bit of a comparison between some levels. So Vocabulary Workshop has their color levels and they have their letter levels. The color levels start at level red, which I think is about a first grade level, and goes through level blue, which is, this is like their 5th grade level. And then the letter level starts, it doesn't show on there, sorry. The letter level starts at A, which I believe is 6th grade. So middle school and high school for the letter levels. Both of my kids have used the color level, and then my daughter, who was in 6th grade this past year, started this level A, which we, spoiler alert, did not like. But I'll show you a little bit of why and kind of the differences between the two. So both of my kids have used the color levels and they've gone, you know, well. I like them. My son does really well with this. My daughter did fine with this. So the way that the color levels are set up is there are 18 units in the book, and each unit has 12 words. Let me show you this here. So there's 18 units. Every 3 units, there's a review. And every unit starts with a reading selection. There's a variety of different things they're reading. Here's a myth, a biography, another biography, contemporary fiction, essay. This is a folk tale. So everyone starts with a reading selection, and the 12 words that they're going to be working with are highlighted. All 12 are in the reading selection and they're highlighted throughout. And then they have a 2-page spread where they're just working with the definitions of those 12 words. So they see the word, the part of speech, and the definition, and then they use it in a sentence here. They fill that in. If the word has multiple meanings, then they give you both those definitions, and there's 2 different sentences to write the word in. They also give you synonyms and antonyms. So the student would read each of these, fill in the words for all 12 words. Then there's always a match the meaning, a synonym activity, an antonym activity, completing the sentence, and word associations. And those seem to be pretty standard for each unit. Then there's also a word study and shades of meaning. The word study and shades of meaning change depending on the unit. So like, it's not always using the dictionary for multiple meaning words or similes. They'll change. This part will stay the same, the topic, but the activity itself changes. And then you go on to the next unit. We have historical nonfiction. Again, it's set up the exact same way. And then when you get word study, this one is context clues and adages and proverbs. And then you go into the next unit and it's the same thing. Now, because this is the last unit before a review, I found that they have a word study. They don't have a shades of meaning. And then we here get into a review of units 1 through 3. There's a reading selection and questions, and that's it for that one. Then unit 4, same thing. Unit 5, same thing. Unit 6, same thing. And then it should be time for another review. Now you're going to review all 6 units that you've done so far. There's a reading selection, questions, 1, 2, and then 2 other activities. Okay, then you go on to unit 7, 8, and 9. And after you do those 3 units, there's another review. This review just reviews units 7 through 9. There's a reading selection and questions, and that's it. You move on to unit 10, 10, 11, 12. And then you're going to review units 7 through 12. And again, you have a reading selection and questions, and then 2 other activities, and then you move into unit 13. So it progresses in that exact pattern throughout the whole thing. These, like I said, have worked well. There's 18 units. We pretty much just make it last 36 weeks. Typically, It depends. I'll say it depends. A lot of times, day one, they'll do the reading selection and these definition pages. And then this might be day 2, day 3, day 4. And then we've gone back and forth. Some school years we've done a 5-day school week, some school weeks a 4-day, or when we have done 5-day, they've done something else for vocabulary on the 5th day. So this would then be day 1, day 2, day 3. Day 4 you would go into here. Now, if there weren't the review units, you could just do like day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 1, day 2, day 3. Oh, that's a review unit. Hold on. Okay. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. But if you did that, because of the review units, it would take longer than 36 weeks. So anyway, you just kind of have to mess with it a little bit, but it fits into our school year just fine. We really like it. Moving on to level A. So level A is a similar setup, but not exactly. So, oh, that's uplifting. The reading selections vary. This one happens to be an obituary. But we also have, here's a log, a humorous essay, compare and contrast essay. So again, a variety of different biographical sketch reading selections. Now, in the letter levels, at least in level A, there are 20 vocabulary words that they are working with through the unit. Not all 20 words are used in the reading selection, and I found it varies from like 12 to 15. So let's look at this one. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So not all 20 words are used here. Then you have a page, usually it's a page and a half of definitions of the first 10 words. So they divide them into set A and set B. So the first 10 words, you get the definition and a sentence to use it in, you fill in the blank, and the part of speech. It does not give you synonyms and antonyms. And then you have 3 activities that you work with set A. So using context, choosing the right word, and completing the sentence. Then you move on to your next 10 words in that unit, and you do the same thing. There's 3 activities. Then you move on to working with all 20 words together, and you have 2 activities that you work with all 20 words. And then that's it, you're done with the unit and you move on to the next. Now this does have a review unit every 3 units. Let's see. So here we have reviewing units 10 through 12. We have a reading selection and questions, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 activities to practice all of the 60 words that you did in units 10 through 12. I scaffolded the heck out of this thing, and it still was very much a struggle. And I think, like, I don't plan to use this with my son when he gets to this level, because I think it would be difficult for any kid. Even him who takes really quickly and really well to this, I don't know. I'm just not sure that that's enough work with the words, and it's a whole lot of words at once. So I didn't like that it doesn't use first of all, I don't like that it uses 20 words per unit. I don't like that it doesn't use all 20 words in the reading selection. I don't like that it doesn't give you like the antonyms and synonyms to help you better understand the word. And I just don't think there's enough work with each set of words or combined to really be effective. And the last, I believe this also has 18 units, but let's skip ahead here and see. Oh, nope, this one has 15 units. So 15 units in this one. So the other thing that I didn't love, let me see if I can find it here. I thought I had marked it, but there were times when there were words used that you had to know. Here, let me just show you. Okay. So in this example of this activity, you have to read the phrase here, and the word that's in bold, you have to find from your word list the synonym that goes with that word. Sometimes the words that were used here that you would have to know in order to link it to the vocabulary word you were working with, to me were maybe a little difficult, or maybe wouldn't necessarily be known by a 6th grader. So like in this case, the word was ebb. They would have to know what the word ebb meant in order to link it to recede. And because when they learned the word recede, they didn't learn any synonyms or antonyms, this could be hard for a student to know. So I found that throughout, that sometimes these words that they are supposed to know in order to do this properly might not be common for them to know. I even went back and looked through grade 5, since this is grade 6, to see, like, was the word ebb used? Was that one of the words in this book that maybe they should have remembered, but it wasn't? So I didn't love that about this particular unit. So for next school year, my 4th grader will be doing the 5th grade vocabulary, and my 7th grader, we're going to move on to Zaner Blozer's word wisdom. Just because this, I don't love it. I wanted to love it because I loved this color series so much, but I did not. So anyway, I thought that might be helpful for you to see kind of comparison between the two. So you can see if going from the colored levels to the letter levels would be a good fit for your child or not. So if you have any questions, let me know down below and I will try to answer them.